Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's episode of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys coming by the channel to watch the video. And guys, today I have got some subscriber comments I want to read regarding the Bassmaster Classic yesterday. I've gotten literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments basically just saying how disappointed they were, with the whole forward-facing sonar debacle and a lot of the stuff that Bassmaster was done. And I'm going to pick through that last video that I did. I just want to read through the comments that I got on my last video from the subscribers so you guys can get a vibe and a feel for what the average bass angler in America thinks about this situation. Hopefully Bassmaster will watch this video or somebody can forward it to somebody to Bass, because they really need to know this. And the thing about it, guys, I want Bassmaster to be successful. I've been hammering them a bunch over the past year over their position on forward-facing sonar. But as soon as they do the right thing and get rid of it, I'll be the first person to congratulate them and tell everybody how great they are, because I've been a fan of Bassmaster since the mid-70s, and I just am really, really sad to see what's happened to it over the past 3 or 4 years since they've let forward-facing sonar dominate, everything about bass fishing. So we're going to get into those comments here, and curious to get your guys' comments too. Also, guys, before we get started, I just want to show you one of my favorite baits for late March and early April, and that's this Megabass S-Crank 1.5 square bill crankbait. Guys, this is a freaking awesome crankbait when that water temperature's in the mid-50s. Runs down about 4 feet. I use it on a medium stop and go retrieve, fishing rocky banks with it. I'll put my Tackle Warehouse link to the S-Crank 1.5 in the video here if you guys want to try some, but definitely get you some good fish. Okay, guys, I'm just going to casually read through these comments here. Looking forward to hearing what you guys got to say about them. So here we go. And this is just a small sample, guys. Like I said, I've got hundreds that are very similar to this, but this is going to give you a gist of the feeling. Okay, the first one is I was watching a bit of the Classic today. This was yesterday. Forgot the name of the fisherman they had on the screen, but when the announcer said he wasn't going to throw to a fish under 5 pounds, that was done it for me. It changed over to a country western channel. Not going to watch somebody troll around looking for a 5-pounder to throw on. That's an insult to every real fisherman that's ever picked up a rod. Disgusting. Okay, next one. Screw the Bassmaster Classic. What a joke it's become. Not fishing. How in the hell is that fishing? Next one. Bassmaster did everything they could to hide the empty stadium. That was sad. Let's see. Okay, teenagers who can afford this. Teenagers who can afford this is even more wild in my point of view. I hope Cox or somebody wins the tournament, but I doubt it. It'll be a scoper. It is pitiful that Bassmaster and too many sportsmen have deluded themselves into thinking using forward-facing sonar to chase fish around a lake is some type of sporting accomplishment. It's not fair chase, and anyone who defends it can only fish with it. There is going to be no fishing going forward, and this is going to start to be called the forward-facing Bassmaster Classic. They are spotlighting for bass, and it's disgusting. I'm a serious tournament angler, and I hope forward-facing sonar goes away. I see zero benefit from it. How much longer do we have to put up with this madness? Okay, I went over to my mother's house today to help her with some stuff, and I told her about this whole thing with the forward-facing sonar. And she said, she's never went fishing 70 years of her life. And I told her how they were using this fish finder, like the live sonar, and explained the whole thing. And she goes, "That's cheating. How's that even fishing?" Okay, maybe they can use live scope to find more fans as well, because they sure didn't have them at the Classic. Zero respect for anybody that calls themselves a professional that says they need to see them in order to catch them. Not only am I not watching it, my family is not watching it. Who wants to support cheaters? These pros and organizations should be ashamed of themselves. MLF and Bassmaster need to do the right thing. Okay, my son and I were out today on a great flipping lake. Every boat we passed was using forward-facing sonar. A pterodactyl could have flown over and those guys wouldn't have noticed. Whatever one thinks the forward-facing sonar, it certainly has changed fishing. Next one, spotlighting, pure and simple. Let's see. I once caught a 3-pound bass from shore on 6-pound test line with only a worm hook. My theory was to make it look like a dying shiner, and it looked. The fact that these guys have to have all this equipment like forward-facing sonar to compete is ridiculous. Mediocrity is the new excellent, has been for a couple of years. They have to level the playing field using sonar because they can't compete with seasoned veterans. This is the third straight year I haven't watched. I'm just going through the comments one by one. This is the third straight year I have not watched 1 second of the Bassmasters Classic. I'm a lifetime member and it hurts to see what it's become. Hopefully the corporate greed that is running the sport will somehow implode on itself and common sense will come to the sport before these fish are devastated beyond repair. Nobody wants to watch a flat brimmer zoomer stare at a screen. This is a competition that is meant to be enjoyed by the public. Nobody wants to watch it. Bass aren't interesting enough for a one-direction fishing. You don't need any skill to have forward-facing sonar. Anyone getting triggered by these videos is blah, blah, blah anger that is addicted to the tech. Okay, the guy that won the Classic with the 8-pounder staring at his cheater box, he watched the fish mouth the jerkbait in front of a tree. He almost ripped the jaw off the thing, bringing it over the side of the board. Bassmaster has lost me at this point for a lot of reasons, but what a shame. They've made themselves unwatchable. Livescoper dominated the Classic. What a shame. Let's see. Hey Bassmaster, a true Bassmaster is one that can master all different variables that are thrown at you. Today's Bassmasters aren't Bassmasters, but they have mastered forward-facing sonar instead. Sorry, that's not fishing. Okay, Randy, I'm 60 years old and I followed professional bass fishing since the early 80s. I'm heartbroken to see what the state of Bassmaster and the Classic has become because of forward-facing sonar. I recently decided to join a club after giving up tournaments, and I can't find any jackpot tournament or club tournament that prohibits forward-facing sonar, and I don't want to compete against it. Went to Academy Sports yesterday to check out the lures. They used to have 4 full aisles of bass baits, everything you need, you name it. You have more lures hanging on the wall than the entire fishing section of the Academy stores, meaning my tackle shop here. What's the most kind of baits I saw? Forward-facing minnow baits. It's killing the industry. Okay, let's see. Bassmaster does not care about accuracy. The only thing Bassmaster cares about is plugging holes in their sinking boat. They got prime time involved today. The publicity is great for the sport, but watch what happens over the next 10 years. I almost wish a tour would start allowing water temperature gauge and a green box hummingbird depth finder. People love shiny new stuff for fame and a social media following. Kevin Van Dam was a freak, first one to win a Bassmaster Classic at his age. The winning fish was scoped and it was an 8-pounder. That is just not right. My only issue with forward-facing sonar is it's like using a drone to pick my hunting areas. Cheater box for the win. Okay, there's a couple long ones here. Did not watch a second of it. Not the same as watching Fritz, Cochran, Van Dam, Clun, Davis, Parker, Reese, and Kershaw and others win the Classic. I don't keep going here. They go on and on and on. Didn't watch, been a member for my entire life, but I have not watched the Classic in the last 3 years. It's cheating and it's complete bullcrap. I won't sit there and watch this Classic. I don't care who wins it. If they win it on forward-facing sonar, I'm out. Let's see. Okay, using forward-facing sonar is not fishing, it's cheating. Danson Martin didn't have it when they were competing. Okay, it goes on and on, but I could sit here and read them for the next couple hours here. Okay, guys, here's the thing about it, what we're talking. It's like, this is unprecedented because I have been, again, following Bassmaster since the mid-70s and competing on the Bassmaster Tour for over 20 years. This is not, the Classic should not have this. You should not have this type of negativity surrounding the Classic. The Classic should be celebrated. Everybody should have positive stuff to say about it and talk about the competition as far as the techniques and the strategies. But the last 3 years, the comments have been consumed by anti-forward facing sonar. It's like people do not want it. It's like Bassmaster has got their head in the sand, denying the reality of the situation. What I just read to you guys was a microcosm of the bigger picture. This is what the majority of the bass anglers in the country feel like. This is what over 80% of the anglers think about forward-facing sonar, and Bassmaster just denies that particular reality, and they're bleeding viewers, they're bleeding fans, they're bleeding sponsors, everything. And it just makes me sick to see it. And you know why it makes me sick? Because it's so simple. All they have to do is, they could do it tomorrow morning. They could come out and say, after careful consideration and wanting to do what's best for the sport, we're going to ban forward-facing sonar from all of our tournaments, period, moving forward. You wouldn't have any of this anymore. There would be none of this social media comments that I just read to you. There wouldn't be any of the industry full of anxiety about tackle sales being down. There wouldn't be this income disparity in the sport. There wouldn't be the destruction of the tradition and the heritage and the mystery of magic. We wouldn't have to worry about the barotrauma issues from all these, delayed mortality bass dying from getting caught deep with live scope. We wouldn't have to worry about guys snagging fish on the outside of the mouth that they're seeing on their cheater box. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to read that to you guys. This should be a wake-up call for Bassmaster. Let me know what you guys think about it, and we'll talk later.